Before we go back to Adam, Scott, Will, and others, I want to thank our last sponsor of the evening. It's diganet.net. That's diganet.net. What is Diganet? Well, we had that pastor on earlier, and he said, I taped as much as I could, but as soon as they attacked me and they took my camera away, I haven't seen it, and I can't prove anything. Well, what this is a hard drive system and hidden cameras in your car so that if the police violate your rights, you can take them to court and win. Diganet.net protects you, and they have all sorts of other security systems. The website is diganet.net. All right, Adam, I'm going to give you the last word on this flyover situation. Go ahead.
Okay, I appreciate that, Jason. Yeah, basically, Roosevelt Roberts Jr., though, the thing about him is he's been on record with the Center for Military History since 2001 saying the same thing. And same with these other ANC guys that they've now interviewed. They completely 100% corroborate the guys at the gas station. So, I mean, this stuff, I know you've seen, like, the original Pentagon video, but that, that's 2006. You know, they've gone way back multiple times, and now this thing with Lloyd, the reason it's going so viral is because Lloyd basically admitted involvement. He was trying to say now that he's trying to place himself on the north side flight path, and just denying that he was on the south side. And Craig confronts him with the images that clearly show him on the bridge, and he denies it. But they filmed him off camera, and he admitted that he knew he was up on the bridge. So it's obviously he's lying. And then another time they actually went out to the countryside with him to look at his cab. And there was a guy in the back seat with a camera, and Lloyd didn't know that I was filming, apparently, I guess. And he basically admitted involvement.
What's he say? Well, I'm going to watch the video, but what does he say specifically that admits involvement?
He specifically says, he says this is a big thing. This is a world thing. I'm a small man. I'm not supposed to be in it. And then he says, well, what do you mean? He's like, this is for the people with all the money. And he's like,
but you know that, all right, he says that, but you know that Children of the Matrix was on his seat, when this happened, right? I'm just saying he was into a lot of this globalist stuff. He was well aware of the New World Order beforehand.
No, listen, yeah. You're assuming that because Craig actually got a chance to ask him about that specifically, and said, hey, you have this David Icke book. What was that about? And Lloyd said, oh yeah, he's into all kinds of things, that I never heard of. He speaks real generally. And Craig's like, oh, yeah, like what? And he's like, all kinds of stuff, everything. He can't name anything from the book. And then he says, yeah, when I was reading the David Icke book, I was taking a class about all that kind of stuff, all that hush-hush stuff, like that lady that got killed in the tunnel in England. And he's like, who, Princess Diana? He's like, oh, yeah. So apparently he's saying he took some kind of conspiracy class. The fact that he has David Icke, you can't just take that at face value.
No, but what I'm saying, I'm not just taking that as one thing. I'm taking the way he talks, the way he acts, the way he's contradicted himself, and the way that, he talks about, this is a bigger picture type thing. He could have easily got that idea not only from that book, but other things that he read. If he's saying he took a class, I think that even further illustrates my point. Look, I don't think the guy is in on any kind of big conspiracy. I think he's obviously confused, but I will give you the benefit of the doubt, and later tonight I will watch the video and see if it sways my opinion. I thank you for the call, Adam. Let's jump to Scott in Washington. Scott, you're on the line.
Yeah, Jason, I got a question and comment. The question that I had was, I had heard about Oklahoma, about their state sovereignty this week, but I also heard something about that Georgia had passed theirs. Actually, I forget what show I was listening to. It was one of the progressive shows, and they were trying to spin it as a racist thing, and I just wonder whether or not you had heard anything about Georgia passing.
No, I know that there's all these different state sovereignty bills around the country. I think I reported on the Georgia one about 3 weeks ago, but I don't know where that went. The only reason that I knew that Brogdon had, I think they had contacted us and said, hey, we've got this concurrent resolution that's passed through after the governor vetoed it. So I'm not quite sure where that is, but that could possibly be a story for the Sunday show I'm going to be hosting for Alex Jones. I'll definitely look into it, man.
Yeah, and the comment that I just wanted to make, because you were talking about the Colbert thing and about that foolish woman talking about it could be a Jewish conspiracy or whatever. I am so sick and tired of people playing that anti-Semitic card, and wherever she got that from was just out of nowhere.
Where did she get it from if the swine flu came from the United States? And it wasn't in a biological lab. I mean, this is a CFR spokeswoman. That's what she is. She's out there for the establishment. She's writing cover stories to fearmonger on Newsweek. You want to see who the real fearmongers are? It's her and her crew. It's not me and mine. I'll tell you that right now. I thank you for the call, Scott. We're going to go to Will, Kay, and Jason on the other side.